Fuck yeah! Cheers, bro!
everyone. Hello. Welcome. Playing Monkey Island today. Return to Monkey Island. The last game in the series, at least as of now. Hang on. Yeah. So we're playing Monkey Island. Sorry, I was checking something in OBS. Technically the last game for now. Maybe another one someday, and I'll definitely play it if that happens. So yeah. 1 second. There I am. Hi. Okay. Let me just do this. It's gonna show up on screen. There we go. Alright. New game, baby. Oh, wait, let's look through this.
Hey, want to see my Mighty Pirate scrapbook? It's filled with my adventures.
So I did take a quick look through this. I didn't actually read anything, though. Don't worry, I just flipped through. This is literally just a recap of the entire series that they actually put in.
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a mighty pirate. That's me, Guybrush Threepwood.
And yes, they did
In the
get
old
Dominic
days,
Armato
you
back
became
for
a
this
pirate by completing 3 trials to prove your worth. Treasure hunting is important for any pirate. The pirate leaders were in
Game's a little
charge of
loud.
the 3 trials,
Okay.
acting as judge.
Hang on. Let's try it.
Ever since I was a... In the old days, the pirate leaders were in charge of the 3 trials, acting as judge, jury, executioner, and devoted grog tasters. The test of thievery involved breaking into the governor's mansion. The security was heavy. Mastering sword fighting was more a matter of wits than agility. Mastering sword fighting was... This is when I met Elaine, the love of my life. She was governor at the time.
It counts for the
Things
stream.
took
Yeah,
an
I will play
unexpected
the Sea
turn
of
while I
Thieves
was working on the 3
this
trials.
thing.
Elaine was kidnapped and taken to Monkey Island by the nefarious ghost pirate LeChuck. I scraped together a crew. Carla, Otis, and Meathook joined me on my voyage to Monkey Island to save Elaine. I scraped together a crew. Carla, my first ship was the Sea Monkey. I bought it at Stan's used ships with a letter of credit.
Should
that
I go through this whole thing, or do you guys not
sort
care?
of falsified. LeChuck thought
Because
he
it
was
is
in love
dialogue
with
to hear,
Elaine.
but like we know all this.
LeChuck thought he was in love with Elaine. My first ship was the Sea Monkey. Monkey Island was a steaming
You're fine with
volcanic
it?
mystery, covered with jungle and not found on any map.
Ugh. We know all this. I played the whole series. All the story enough from Kevin puzzles, more puzzles, harder puzzles, full monkey. Yeah, duh. Excuse me, I'm the Jim Jam of internet.com. Here we go, baby. We're back.
Take this, LeChuck! Guybrush, come over here. Gently now. Remove my mask.
Oh my god.
Will
a
you
fucking
promise to
Star
stop
Wars
picking on me? All right, I promise. Anything. Just put my leg back on.
Hey, you kids. You're not supposed to be
This is
in
where the
here.
second game left off.
What's next? Let's goof on those 2. Pretend they're our parents. Yeah!
This is the end of the second game.
Sorry we ran off. You were probably worried about murderers and ne'er-do-wells. Don't worry, I found him.
I like this art style.
Come on, let's go.
Let's pretend I have powers that make lightning come out of my eyes.
It's so lifelike.
I wonder if it's real.
So, something I should explain after this cutscene.
Sorry, boys, could you stop following us? It's creepy.
Yes, sir.
This art style looks really
Come
cool.
on.
I saw a scurvy dog shack back there.
Scurvy dogs. I've never had one of those.
No way. You have to try one. It's the best thing you'll ever eat in your life. No fooling.
Wow.
Alright. So something to note is that Ron Gilbert. Oh yeah, the sign is gone. What the fuck?
I once got a scurvy dog that was bigger than my head.
Okay. So Ron Gilbert, the creator of Monkey Island, he was the lead designer of the first 2 games, and then he left LucasArts to found Humongous Entertainment. So every game after the first 2 didn't have him involved. Except this one. This is his return to the series.
Some places you go have scurvy dogs.
Which
with
is why this
cheese
picks up where the
inside.
second game ended rather than where the last one ended. This one it does still maintain canon though. This isn't like, oh, the 3rd to 5th games weren't canon. It maintains the continuity. It's just it's like an interquel, I guess. That's all I know though. And
I once had the hiccups for 4 days.
the second game ended on a cliffhanger, so whenever the team was making the 3rd game, they had to work with that, even though Ron Gilbert wasn't there anymore. A rat!
Hey, Chucky, get ready to run. I guess they don't like visitors.
Let's go next door and get scurvy dogs.
Alright.
Wakey, wakey, Mr. Pirate. Hello?
These voice
Ew.
actors sound
Ah,
familiar.
he's dead to the world.
Sounds real.
Oh yeah, so another thing is that they intentionally simplified the interface, so instead of like
Did you know you can keep a
clicking a
scurvy dog
verb and then
warm
an object,
by
it just
sticking
tells
it
you
in
what
your
you'll do when you
armpit?
click on the object anyways.
The words don't look like words, but there's a picture of a scurvy dog.
Oh, I can't wait to hear Dominic's voice.
It says, return outhouse key when finished, or else. How much are the scurvy dogs?
Scurvy dogs are only a half piece of 8. That's money that grown-ups use.
I know what a piece of 8 is. They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. How much is a mug of grog?
Grog's for grown-ups. Beat it.
Jerk.
How much are those chicken foot fries?
Chicken foot fries are 2 pieces of 8.
In France, they call a scurvy dog a chien scorbut.
What should we do next?
We gotta get to scurvy dogs. I can't believe you never had one.
Alright.
Those glasses are thicker than the layer of grease on the floor.
Alright.
Can
yeah.
we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure. If you give me a piece of 8.
Please? Can't you spare something for a couple of hungry kids?
Listen up, you little
That actually
moocher.
is very
Let
cute,
me
just
tell
because of the
you
art style.
something. I don't see that well. For all I know, you could be some really short 30-year-old guy trying to take advantage of my disability. In which case, shame on you. You should know better. And if you really are kids, then I have to tell you, I don't like kids. Don't
Me neither.
like talking to them. Don't like listening to them. Don't like to smell them. You come in here, make fun of me, sneeze on the food, spill stuff on the floor, and leave without buying anything. I'd rather have rats.
I've got good news for you then.
I'm an honest businessman trying to make an honest living. I don't need 50 kids a day coming in and wasting my time trying to get me to give them free food.
I guess never mind.
Hey, I know. Let's look for change in the outhouse across the way. Coins fall out of people's pockets when they sit down in there.
I have anything in my inventory? Oh, to-do list. Oh yeah, there's like an actual list of things you need to do in this. Alright.
Hey, Chucky, stand over here for a minute.
Nah, I want to get scurvy dogs.
Exhibit removed. Aww. This would be great for apple bobbing. Let's not go back there again. We'll just get yelled at.
Yeah, let's get scurvy dogs instead. I'm hungry.
It's locked. I should get that key from the scurvy dog shack. They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that. I got the leg from the last kid who didn't bring back the key.
Oh, he's a child murderer. Cool.
It unlocks the outhouse.
Yep. Nope, nope, nope. Over here.
Good, you unlocked it.
Oh, this looks nice.
Please wash hands before leaving outhouse.
This is the sink.
I'm not touching that gunk. It seems more like something Chucky would do. It isn't a piece of 8, but it's a round piece of metal about the same size and shape as a piece of 8.
That's called a slug. It's like a fake coin.
I don't see any coins. Not real ones, anyway.
I dare you to pick up that slug.
I thought it was a piece of 8 at first. Gross. Chucky, why don't you look in the toilet?
No way. You do it.
Okay.
Ugh.
Gross.
Gross.
I can stand on my head.
I don't see any coins, and I'm not putting my hands in that. A fake coin is almost as good as a real coin.
Can I actually put the peg leg back?
Hey, look! I'm returning the key.
You want a medal?
I got an achievement! I fucking knew there would be an achievement for that.
It looks like a piece of 8, if you don't see very well. What can we get with this?
Tastes like a piece of 8. Enough for a couple of scurvy dogs if you want.
Perfect!
Take 'em, boy.
Ugh.
What are you getting?
What?
Just kidding. Here's yours.
They're eating the slop.
This is the perfect food. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I wonder where those 2 people we were following went.
There's a beach down there.
I want to see 2 scurvy dogs at the same time. That's my friend Dee. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Chucky, what are you jerk faces up to?
We just got here.
I'm making a list of stuff to do.
Give me that. I'm an expert planner. There.
Takes one
Perfect.
button, puts
See
it in
you
my
around the
pocket.
park, shitheads.
Shitheads! It's like, yeah, the background for those.
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not a very good example. You'd know that if you read as much about anchors as I have. Did you know that anchors originally weren't designed to hold ships in place?
Okay,
They
telling
were
me,
used
hey, you
in
can skip.
combat, shot from
No, I'm
cannons
listening.
as a grapple when you were trying to board another ship. They started making them bigger and bigger because they would do more damage that way. Then people noticed what happened when you missed the other ship.
By the way,
hit the sea bottom instead.
this
The current bow-shaped design is actually less effective than the sharper V-shaped design that was popular last century.
this
But
game literally
the
has a
older design
setting
went out of fashion after
called
sailors
Writer's Mode
started
that
to think
adds
the
more
letter V
dialogue,
was
and it
bad
describes it
luck.
as more
You can
chatter,
still find the old kind around
slower
sometimes,
pacing, and I
but
turned it on.
collectors have grabbed most of them.
So.
On a modern anchor, if you look close, you can tell that one side is a little larger than the other. That's to prevent what's called plummeting. where the anchor goes down too evenly, and then it doesn't catch well on the bottom. The little flanges at the tips are at
This is so
different angles
interesting.
to make it twist on the way down for the same reason. Most anchors these days are made of iron, and you have to recast them like twice a year because they rust. About 30 years ago, somebody thought of a way to get around that by making them out of wood instead. All kinds of people invested a lot of money in these wooden anchor companies. But the only way they could keep them from floating was to attach another anchor. And so they gave up and went back to the old way. The word anchor comes from the Sanskrit word nagara, meaning city. They're called that because when you stop in the middle of the ocean, it's like you've made port at an invisible
Real-time
city.
input experience.
Yeah, I'm kind of an expert on anchors. I read a lot.
If I missed anything. Yeah, I missed that. Can you repeat that? Alright. Fantasy. Ah!
I have an extra tooth in the back. I can feel it with my tongue.
That's cool, Chucky. Good for you. I'm just a bit small.
That's a cool anchor.
That just
Oh
shows
God,
how little you
no.
know about it. Did you? They were used it. They started then. The current bow-shaped design, but you can still on a modern ink. That's to rip the little most ink about the but the word they're called. Yeah.
Alright. Let's not do that again. He wants to race.
Hey, Chucky, wanna race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2.
Hey, cheater!
Whoops.
You have to wait until
Didn't
I
think it
say
would let me do it.
go.
Do you like to race?
I'd rather be in charge of a race than be in it.
Did you know your feet won't smell if you don't wash them?
I don't
Hey, Chucky,
think that's true, Chucky.
wanna race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go!
Why?
I win!
I won. I'm so cool.
This is the perfect food.
Alright. Oh wait, isn't there a highlight button? Yeah, there was. Highlight stuff you can interact with.
Hey, hands off!
I wonder what's in that basket.
Let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days have no regard for personal property.
And no respect for your elders.
I have half a mind to give you a piece of my mind.
And I've got the other half.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Just what it's like to talk to
blah, blah,
to
blah.
boomers.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. I certainly hope you'll have better manners in the future.
I want to feed the duck. Excuse me,
Yes?
could we have some of your bread to feed the duck?
I don't think so. We brought it for ourselves.
Fuck you, bitch.
Excuse me,
I'm gonna give
Yes?
bread to a child.
will you pretend to be our parents again?
What do you mean, again?
Run along and find your real parents.
Don't feed the duck. What's this red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs. At home, I've got a collection of old scurvy dog sticks that fills a whole shoe. You're not gonna touch the ground with your scurvy dog.
No, of course not. Crap.
You
just
should put
pick
that
up
on your
ketchup?
scurvy dog.
Yeah, go ahead, Guybrush. Ketchup handful.
Yuck! I don't think that was ketchup.
Whoops. I can stand on my head without using my
That's
hands.
so cool, Chucky.
Let's be frank. You can never hope to beat me.
No way! You'll never catch up to my level.
I win.
I win.
You guys are both pretty weak.
Insult sword
Well,
fighting.
anyway, that was fun. Do you want a sword fight with me?
I've seen you fight. Come back in a few years, maybe.
So mean to me, D.
I found a four-leaf clover.
Awesome.
There was still one left. Darn.
Do not pick the four-leaf clovers. As if I already found a four-leaf clover.
Did you know you can keep a scurvy dog warm by sticking it in your armpit?
Uh-huh. Hang on one second. I'm looking at something real quick. Let's continue.
Are we done here? We might not be able to come back if we head this way.
I should throw my coin in and make a wish. I never thought I'd ever find one. Maybe I should throw this down the wishing well.
We can speak backwards.
I wish we could speak backwards. Or what if...
Yes, you know.
Yes. Well, yes,
What? You wonder how long this
That
one
was
is? Yeah.
fun.
Oh man, it wore off.
Too bad. You made more sense than usual.
That was cool. I wish I had another coin.
Your dog down there.
This place is fun.
What? Well, huh?
Hey, Dad.
Hello, Mr. Threepwood.
Hey, kids. Having fun?
Yeah.
We got scurvy dogs.
Those have toenails and stuff in them. Ugh, I read about it.
And we were playing your adventures. We just did Big Whoop.
Big whoop. Oh, boy. That takes me back.
I like it when Chucky asked me to put his leg back on. He says it really funny.
You guys always make up the craziest stuff for the ending of that story.
It's fun.
But you can't just change it around. That's not how storytelling works.
A lot of your stories don't feel like they're finished at the end.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's this one that you call The Secret of Monkey Island, where you went to Monkey Island and fought LeChuck.
Oh, that story has a great ending. There's punching and fireworks. I thought you liked that one.
But you never did find the secret. Not the real one.
Sure, but that's not what that story was about. Kids, let me tell you a story that is about finding the secret of
Oh
Monkey
shit.
Island.
Is this a long story?
I think maybe I gotta go use the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I have to go walk my
He's
tarantula.
gonna tell us the
Maybe
secret
I
of
should go
Monkey
with
Island.
them.
No, stick around. This is a good one. See, There was a rumor going around that my old nemesis, LeChuck, had somehow discovered the exact location of the secret of Monkey Island. I knew I had to get it before he did, so I went to Melee to get my own expedition started and beat him to the punch.
Oh shit. Oh shit! It's Melee Island! Oh, please tell me it's the theme song. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Please play the theme song. Come on. Yes! Yeah, Lainey. Ooh, I love hearing that theme song. We're back on Melee! Holy shit! Back where it all began. It's this fucking box guy!
Feels good to be back on Melee Island, the hub of pirating in the Caribbean, where every good expedition begins. I'll see some old pals and get things rolling. Or sailing in this case. Hi, I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
Please tell me it's Rob
Remember me?
Paulson again.
Of course. We lookouts have a lot of discretionary thinking time. I use mine to revisit my memories of every Anne, Jack, and Guybrush who spent 5 seconds with me a decade ago on their way to someplace else.
Wow.
Relax, I'm just winding your anchor chain. Haven't seen you in a while, Threepwood.
I'm so glad they got
What
Rob
have you
Paulson
been
back.
up to?
Oh, you know, freebooting mostly, swashing buckles and so on. But now I'm getting an expedition together to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, you're sailing with LeChuck.
What? LeChuck's here in Melee? Is there widespread panic? Are people evacuating?
He doesn't seem interested in carnage at the moment. Ship's just here taking on supplies and crew, as far as I can tell.
Well, anyway, no, I'm not sailing with LeChuck. You know my history with him. We've been enemies for my whole career. Everywhere I go, there he is. He plagues me. He's my nemesis.
Funny. He said the same thing about you.
LeChuck kidnapped my wife. He's always had designs on her. I sailed to Monkey Island to find them and get her back.
Oh, I thought you weren't married yet when that happened. And didn't she more or less rescue herself?
That's not the point. He's an evil zombie ghost pirate, terror of the seas, and sometimes the land. A nefarious, conniving, murdering scallywag. A depraved, ruthless villain. And a loud talker. And I'm not those things.
They say opposites attract, but what do I know?
Yeah, okay, I do have the writer's talk turned on.
That guy steals all my best ideas.
Are you sure it isn't the other way around? Seems like he was here first.
I don't know how he found out, but I'm sure he's just doing this to get one up on me. I'm mounting my own voyage. Mine.
Well, you'd better get cracking then. LeChuck's loading up on the outer dock as we speak.
Well, I'm gonna hire a ship and a crew and beat him to the punch. Just as soon as I can get someone to back the venture. I'm a little short on funds at the moment.
In that case, you'll want to go talk to the pirate leaders at the Scum Bar.
Exactly. That's why I came to Melee. It'll be great to see those old guys again. We'll knock back a grog and hash out the details.
Scum Bar, by the docks. Long table in the back.
I know where I'm going.
We'll see.
I could stare at this forever, but that wouldn't be much fun for you. I could stare at this forever, but that wouldn't be much fun for you.
Warm your hands, Guybrush. Stay warm.
I detect a certain resemblance here.
Yes, it looks a lot like an owl, doesn't it? Shouldn't you be on your way to the Scum Bar to talk to the pirate leaders?
I was just about to head down there.
Bye, Pirate Lookout. I'm just gonna call him Rob, because that's what I imagine. It really is. It's like the exact same layout of Melee Island from the first game.
Re-elect Governor Carla. She's tough on toughness.
Carla. Well, yeah, I guess Elaine's not here anymore. Scroll on the docks.
Some things never change. The Scum Bar will be here as long as there are pirates. Damn pirate wannabes.
Alright.
I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
Thanks.
I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
Okay.
I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
It's a book for storing collectible trivia cards. Looks like someone just left it here unattended.
Oh, what? Okay, they're trivia cards. That's a lot of trivia.
Looks like a circus act. Maybe.
Oh, it's just rap music.
Nice and hot. Wonder how long I could stand here before bursting into flames.
You wanna find out?
Nice and hot. Wonder how long I could stand here before bursting into flames.
Ah!
Have you seen the pirate leaders around? This is their table. In fact, you'd probably better move. You don't want to get caught sitting here.
It's our table, Rummy.
We're the pirate leaders. Get lost.
I hadn't heard there was a change of leadership.
Oh no. Did nobody remember to notify you?
Maybe your party invite got lost in the mail.
Where are the three older guys who used to hold court here?
Who cares?
Probably crying in an alley somewhere, wishing they were still relevant.
Making up trials for each other and writing memoirs that no one will read.
Is it you I should talk to about financing an expedition?
An expedition? Who is it that you think you are exactly?
I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Probably you've heard of me.
Probably not.
Permission to slaughter the annoying old wastrel man, Captain Madison.
Wait, it was Captain Madison? She's like famous! I've got her on a trading card. Her plunder stats are amazing!
Plunder stats aren't everything.
Then the others were Captain Lila and Captain Trent. It was Lila who threatened to kill you?
Look, they weren't that great,
These
okay?
were- I don't know.
Listen to the story.
Want me to slaughter him?
Don't bother. He's just a harmless hack who thinks he has a good idea for a pirate raid.
It's not exactly a raid.
What else would we be interested in?
I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island.
You're wasting our time.
The secret? I didn't think that was even a real thing.
It's a mystery for the ages that must be solved.
The only mystery here is who let you into this bar.
Classic.
Okay, I'm sensing some reluctance, but hear me out. would you at least consider advancing me some funds? It's a surefire investment.
Probably a
Triple your
share.
money or your money back.
Not interested.
I could make it worth your while to help me hire a crew. A percentage of their earnings or something?
No one in here wants to chase your pipe dream.
Could you at least point me towards an available ship?
You don't even have a ship?
You're really up a creek.
Up a creek without a ship.
If you don't take this opportunity, LeChuck will grab it.
LeChuck?
Yes, the dreaded zombie ghost pirate LeChuck himself is also going after the secret. He's here in Melee getting ready right now. If that doesn't prove it's a worthwhile venture, I don't know what else to tell you.
Great. Problem solved.
Excellent. You'll do it.
No, of course not. Why waste money on an expedition when you can just join the one that's already going?
Have fun with your scary ghost friend. Bye-bye.
Well, the slight problem with that idea is that LeChuck and I are basically mortal enemies.
The animation this is really cool. Look at this different under like that.
Fine. I don't need you or your money. I can do this on my own. If I can't buy a ship, I'll steal one. I'm a pirate. I'll find a way to get to Monkey Island no matter what it takes.
Guybrush is a boomer pirate.
I like the old pirate leaders better.
Hang on.
Guybrush Threepwood, as I live and breathe, how have you been?
Peachy.
How's Elaine? She was always my favorite governor. Also, she covered your tab when you stopped coming in.
Still in public service. Fighting scurvy now.
My place is clean. Our health certificates are up to date.
No, it's not like that. She's got a foundation. They're trying to promote Lyme's as a preventative.
Oh, well, tell her I say hello.
The atmosphere in the bar is different than it used to be.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I've got to cater to the new crowd. Everything changes, Guybrush.
But the roaches stay the same.
I've missed your wit. And your low alcohol tolerance.
Hey! Those new pirate leaders seem like real jerks. Why do you even let them in the bar?
Well, they've driven off my old regulars, so I don't have a lot of choice if I want to stay in business. Also, if I tried to get them to leave, they'd probably cut me up and throw me in the soup. Frankly, I'm terrified of them. On the plus side, they have more disposable income and better hygiene than the old crowd.
Why are there so many dislocations? One second. One second. Sorry about that. One second.
Did I mention I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island?
No, I don't think you did. Well, that's exciting. So you'll be hiring a ship at the docks?
I'm thinking I'll steal one.
As far as I know, the only ship out there is LeChuck's.
Even better. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Bold. I like your thinking.
Ooh, I think I hear the health inspector.
What? Where?
Just kidding. That joke never gets old. Keep up the good work.
Thanks. Will do.
Well, It's definitely a mop. Active little guys, aren't they? Looks like a mugshot. Will you advance me the down payment on a ship if I help you clean up?
Put that down before you hurt yourself.
What?
Clearly, there's a lot you don't know about mops.
Honestly, I think I prefer to keep it that way.
Hey, a trivia card. There's something that Chuck berates his crew for. So there's actual trivia in the game.
It's amazing what you can achieve if you put your mind to it. And you have a packet of stick-on stars. Pests or garnishes?
A good cook sources local supplies when he can.
The food is more exciting when you can smell the risk. Ugh, I remember that stench as if it were yesterday. Pleasantly scorching hot. The plaque says, in memory of looming seagulls of old. I think someone tried to secure a boat with this.
Cheers, bro!
I think someone tried to secure a boat with this. The plaque says, in memory of looming seagulls of old.
Hang on. I think there's like rock music there.
It's those three clowns at the back table. I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Don't sound much like pirating to me.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
It'll turn out to be a t-shirt or something.
Lainey,
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you.
Wait. Oh, I thought there was a trivia card there.
How clever. Expedition to fabled Monkey Island. Crew positions available. Serve under LeChuck, the most fearsome pirate on the 8 seas. Equal opportunity employer. Inquire here.
The 8 seas?
Looking for a job? Step this way.
The clipboard in your hand says you're the quartermaster.
The crew says I'm the quartermaster. Clipboard doesn't get a vote. You look like a guy without many options. You want a job? I'm short a swabby. LeChuck's an equal opportunity employer. Even humans are mostly tolerated.
Oh, well, that's good. He's not bigoted. I just realized I'm covering up the dialogue options every time they show up. You'll see them when I click on them, so whatever.
Absolutely. I'd love to be a swabby. Swabbing
I
is one
didn't
of my
see it,
favorite things in the
Jerry.
whole world. The
Oh, you
restful,
just said the text
the
options.
mindless
I didn't know-
repetition,
you didn't say
the
it
delicate
was
scent of
being
old
covered.
soapy water, the proud satisfaction of a sparkling plank.
Okay. Save the strokes for the decks. The only requirement is that you bring your own mop. If you've got a mop, the job is... Hey, wait a minute. What's your name, sailor?
Guybrush Threepwood.
Yeah, that's what I thought. LeChuck gave me a blacklist, and you're on it. In fact, you are the blacklist. I'm afraid I can't hire you after all.
Well, that's a slight hitch.
I'm confused. Didn't you say you were gonna get your own ship?
Yes, but then suddenly I thought, why bother? I wanted a ship and a crew. Here was a ship and a crew. Ripe for the taking. All I had to do was get on board, wait for the right moment, and strike.
Strike?
Mutiny the crew, seize the ship. Be a pirate.
Except they wouldn't hire you because they knew who you were.
Yeah, that was a problem. Also, I needed a mop.
There.
Hey.
Threepwood. I shouldn't even be talking to you.
I'm not Guybrush Threepwood. I just look like him. You'd be amazed how often people confuse us. Sometimes I impersonate him at parties, just for fun. We've never even met. and I doubt I'd like him if we did.
Even if any of that were true, it wouldn't matter. LeChuck would take one look at you and go nuts. Just looking like Guybrush Threepwood is enough that I can't give you the job. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey,
What is it?
can I be on your ship if I change my name?
Only if you also change your face. Sorry.
Hey,
What is it?
are you sure I can't convince you that I'm not Guybrush Threepwood?
Just looking like Guybrush Threepwood is enough that I can't give you the job. Sorry.
Hey,
What is it?
come on, let me have the swabby job.
If you were anybody else and you had a mop, I'd hire you. But you're you, so I'm sorry, I can't.
Whoops. Hang on, I clicked out of the game. Shit. Okay. Hey, a trivia card.
It's hopeless.
How many jail rules are there in part 1? Jail rules?
Expedition to Fabled Monkey Island.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I hope this isn't one of those party cruises. Say what you want about my evil, horrible nemesis LeChuck, but he does know how to stock a ship. No parking of demonic, ghostly, or undead vessels or scooters. Tuesdays 3 to 4. Looks like this is going to be a long journey.
Why was Wally in such a hurry? He wouldn't sell us out to Madison, would he?
I believe he needed to relieve the pressure
What's
upon
the
him
mood, lady?
in a different way.
Wait. They mentioned Wally. Wally's back.
Elaine?
Guybrush! Wait, are you going to tell a mushy part now?
A little, but I can skip over the hugs and kisses. Elaine!
Guybrush!
I mean, how long we've been married?
You won't believe how I'm getting to Monkey Island.
I've known you a long time. Try me.
I'm planning to sign on to LeChuck's crew, mutiny them, and take the ship.
Oh dear. Isn't there an easier way?
Oh, trust me, that is the easy way. How's your scurvy prevention project?
It's great! We're going to get a lot of limes to a lot of sailors and save a lot of lives. I've got to come up with a way to deal with Captain Madison, though. The pressure she's putting on the town is making it hard for social programs like mine.
Sounds like we both met Captain Madison.
I don't like her. She's the one who pushed to shut down the shipyard.
She doesn't
Damn.
understand the value of the secret of Monkey Island.
She laughed at me.
Me too.
Obviously, the woman has no taste and a lousy sense of humor.
I feel better just talking to you.
Me too.
You've probably got to get going.
You say goodbye first.
No, you say bye first.
No, you say bye first.
I'm gonna drag this out.
No,
as
you
I
say bye first.
No, you say bye first.
No, you say bye first.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
You're so in love.
The problem with this statue is it's not a statue of Elaine, the best ever governor of Melee. Honoring Melee Island's 27th governor, Carla the Swordmaster, for her heroic actions at
fucking
Portobello.
Carla the Swordmaster, right?
It doesn't
She's
look
the
finished. The pen is mightier than the sword.
The penis mightier than the sword.
I've got a few coins for incidentals. It's Elaine's flyer about how limes combat scurvy. It's important, but boring. I've never once made it all the way to the end. Elaine would kill me if she caught me pulling down her flyers. Ah, the International House of Mojo. This place hasn't changed in years.
Didn't mean to come in here yet, but that's fine.
Welcome, Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again.
I have been waiting for you.
You mean...
Fate ordained that you would be here several minutes ago. Only you can manage to be late, even when you are fated to arrive.
It's
I think that's the same voice
Allow
actor.
me to seek knowledge on your behalf.
Will it cost me anything?
Pride, free will. Not much. The way to the secret is like a serpent which swallows itself. Many obstacles lie ahead.
Serpent, obstacles, got it.
You must walk the path. Yet you have already walked the path.
And now I'm going back again.
When you are unsure of the way forward, open this book for guidance on what is to come.
It can tell me my future?
In a way, think of it as a book of hints.
What is it really?
A book of hints. Use it wisely. To know too much diminishes the voyage.
Neat. Thanks.
No charge.
So I just have a hint book. Neat.
What's cooking?
The Feast of Knowledge. All my merchandise is top shelf.
Can't you at least wait until I say what I'm thinking? It's creepy. This is a neat symbol. What does it mean?
That used to contain magical disguises. But alas, they have all gone.
Yeah, it's too bad you're sold out. A magic disguise seems really useful.
There's always the famous eye patch of John Laney at the museum. I'm sure the magic has worn off by now, but I believe I could restore its abilities.
I've always been impressed by your chair.
Thank you. All my merchandise is top shelf.
Can't you at least... Next time I'm in a drum circle, this would come in handy. What's this thing?
It's a forgiveness frog. When no apology will do, give the forgiveness frog. It's like a card, only much better because it's a frog.
I've never heard of that before. Are you sure it's real voodoo?
No comment. It works. Trust me.
I'll take this forgiveness frog.
It can help someone forgive even very old transgressions.
Awesome.
An empty basket. I should have gotten here last month. Pointy.
It is a non-magical.
Oh, I'd like this knife.
Oops.
An excellent choice. I will need you to verbally agree to a release of liability.
Okay.
This product is not to be used in the commission of any crime, including vandalism, jailbreak, and theft of ancient priceless artifacts.
No problem.
Threatening, frightening, stabbing, shaving, or manicuring yourself or another person are likewise considered outside the scope of acceptable use.
Oh, okay, I guess.
The product is not balanced for throwing. Throwing the product violates these terms and will invalidate the warranty. Whittling, scrimshaw, mumbledy-peg, juggling, and any tricks involving stacking or balancing the product may cause serious injury and should not be attempted by unlicensed persons.
Uh-huh.
Use with breads, spreads, bedspreads, or thread may damage the product. If damaged, the product should not be used. Product is sharp and should not be carried in a pocket, coat, belt, hatband, handbag, shoulder holster, or sheath. At all times, keep the product away from children, pets, the aged or infirm, clowns, pirates, and adults. Where possible, it should be locked securely in a vault. The manufacturer accepts no responsibility for the consequences of any use or misuse of this product. By verbally assenting to these terms, Purchaser hereby assumes all liability, past, present, and future, throughout this and all possible and impossible universes.
Oh, is this where I say yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything I am allowed to do with it?
I am not able to answer that question, as it could create a liability issue.
It's my very own, very sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife. The voodoo lady said it was a forgiveness frog.
It's hopeless.
Oh.
Dear Wally, sorry for blowing you up that one time. Sincerely, Guybrush. It's a forgiveness frog, but I juiced it up with a written apology. Do you do gift wrapping?
We're out of wrapping paper, unless you'd like it wrapped in the skin of a lizard.
No thanks. Too bad it's empty. It says everything must go, but it says it with numbers.
It's a creepy shrunken head with long, stringy hair.
I didn't know these were a voodoo thing.
They're not. But the tourists like them.
I'll take this disgusting shrunken head.
That's my last one. Quite the bargain.
It's a creepy shrunken head with long, stringy hair.
I mean, just like it just tells you what you can use on each other. That's cool.
Do I owe you anything at the moment?
Much.
You're not talking about money, are you?
No.
Not very practical. Keep up the good work, buddy. A crystal. Yeah, this isn't that kind of game. Everything's spilled out of it in a puddle. Not for me. Looks like it's been there forever. Looks like it's been there forever. Someone's very excited I'm looking at this sign. Green, half off. Blue, half of half off. Yellow, half of half of half off. Orange.
Hey.
It's an unusual safe with 5 keyholes.
Alas, the safe is not for sale. It has been placed with me for safekeeping.
Green, half off. Blue, half of half off. Yellow, half of half of half off. Orange, aren't you glad you're here? The curtains are for sale too?
Everything goes. They'd make a great dress.
Alrighty.
Going out of business? This place is an institution. Well, the voodoo here must be authentic, culturally and historically accurate. The sign says so. They're having a half-off sale. Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Oh, this was my favorite novelty store. What kind of person would just paint on a wall like that? Oh yeah, that clock has been broken for decades now. If any clock were the exception to that rule, it would be this one. If any clock were the exception to that, Elaine would never have stood for this when she was governor. This place has kind of gone downhill.
Hey, it's Wally's.
Looks like Wally's got a new place in Melee. I hope he's not still sore about the monocle.
It's the men of low moral
Fred and
fiber.
Finn, how are you?
What you be talking about, boy?
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I mistook
it's
you for
not.
someone else. In a good way, I promise.
Aren't you that Guybrush Threepwood what wants to be a pirate?
And you're the pirate leaders.
Oh, so
I
this
was
is the
looking
old
for you.
pirate leader.
Aye, well, we're not the pirate leaders no more.
Former pirate leaders is what we are.
Yeah, I already met the chilling trio who took your place. And your table.
Escaped with your life, I see.
What did you mean, wants to be a pirate?
I've been a pirate for a long time now.
You may call yourself that, but remember the 3 trials.
I remember them. I was proud to complete them. I still talk about it sometimes. Ad nauseum, Elaine says. It's Latin for something.
Be that as it may, I don't recall us being presented with evidence as to the completion of all 3. That were part of your instructions at the time.
Oh no, really?
'Tis true enough.
Listen, can this wait a little longer? I've got a lot on my to-do list right now.
It matters not. We've all of us moved on.
How is it that you're not the pirate leaders anymore?
Time and democracy, boy.
A lot of our supporters be dead drunk, or retired.
Our eyes be sharp and our judgments keen. But once you be labeled old school, that's all that gets seen.
The traditions of the 3 trials have become a joking matter in some quarters.
Dark times.
Aye, they even water the grog and mix it with fruit these days. Won't even strip the varnish off a deck.
Damn.
I'm going on a journey to find the secret of Monkey Island.
The secret?
What a prize!
That's what I tried to tell those clowns in the bar.
They say the pirate what holds the secret can never be sunk, that the wind always fills his sails.
In the old days, we might have gone after it ourselves.
But we've got no fish to fry, so to speak.
We've sold our ship and sunk all of the cash into our next venture.
Which is?
Tell me about your next venture. What is it?
'Tis a fish shop on the high street where the general store used to be.
A place for buying of fish and telling tales about the catching of fish.
We'll be open on the morrow. Be sure to stop by.
We'll give you the friend's price on the unpopular fish.
You said you don't have a ship? Where do you get your fish?
From reputable sources.
Fish fans, average
We'll
fish
give you an
enjoyers.
additional discount if you don't talk about that where people can hear you.
Why'd you pick this corner instead of one closer to your fish shop?
The woman that lives above the shop location is doing a bit of haranguing today. We'll stay clear of her. Thanks very much.
I'll see you around.
Seems likely.
Hey, Wally.
Well, 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 look what the surf washed ashore. It's Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again, too,
No,
Wally.
Earl Bowen retired.
Whatever your last name
for
is.
this.
I spent years in therapy getting over being burned, blinded, blown up, abandoned, and marooned because of you.
Yeah, good times, huh?
You're lucky I'm past all that and am running the best map shop within the Caribbean and beyond.
I'm looking for a mop.
This is maps and more, not mops and more.
Well, I was hoping the and more might include mops.
Well, it doesn't. Try asking the cook over at the bar where he got his.
You wouldn't happen to have a map to the secret of Monkey Island.
Funny you should ask. I recently made one on commission, but then they destroyed all my source material.
How inconvenient.
It is the only one in existence. Best of luck to you.
You have a lot of maps in here.
We've got so many, you need a map to find them all. A little cartographer humor.
Yeah, I'd forgotten how funny it was.
Love you, Wally. Glad you're back.
Looks like the shop across the way is in trouble.
The high-stakes, ego-driven world of pirating is changing, and dark magic is taking over. Voodoo magic is fun and all, but it's not what the new generation wants. Me? I'm on the bleeding edge and making a bundle. I'm about to franchise.
The town seems to be pretty run down.
Since Captain Madison made Melee her base of operations, people have been complaining. They say she brings a bad element to town, but that bad element spends a lot of money on maps. So, what am I supposed to do?
Do what's right?
I am. I'm doing what's right for Wally.
It's great to see you landed on your feet after all these years.
Business has been booming with all these new dark magic pirates. Captain Madison has me on a lucrative retainer. She pays extra for a bunch of wacky symbols I just make up.
I'll let you get back to cartogramographing.
That's not a real word.
Uh-huh.
Cartogramographing.
Good old mazes. Can't get enough mazes. It looks expensive. And shiny. I like shiny. I try to steer clear of sea monsters myself. Somewhat understated and somewhat overpriced. Never seen one of those before. Ooh, this one looks nice. How much is it?
Oh, that one? Too much.
You have the frog? Yeah, I was gonna try giving
Hey, Wally, what's in these boxes?
Maps.
Hey, Wally, what's with the window ladder?
I use it to keep an eye on the neighbors.
Well, it's good to have a hobby. The first rule of piracy is never buy a used treasure map. It's maps wrapped in maps. I didn't know you could do that. That looks like a treacherous voyage. It says, I had a map like this once. That looks like a treacherous voyage. It says, rating, cursed black diamond. I had a map like this once, but I sailed left. This must be Trouser Island.
Actually, Mr. Threepwood, it's...
Yep, Trouser Island. It's a map on a fan. What'll they think of next? They're like glasses, only way less convenient.
A monocle. Oh my god, we're gonna take it again.
Wally, can I have one of these maps?
Absolutely. If you pay for it.
Never mind. It's a long, small map of somewhere far, far away. Whew, looks chilly up there. This map shows both sides of the globe.
It's twice the value.
Ooh, those look fancy.
The finest tools to make the finest maps.
I didn't know you made globes, too.
I don't. This is for reference. It's got all the latest continents.
Cool.
I appreciate that Wally hasn't traded it in for a new model just because it's been around the block once or twice. I feel very strongly about that for some reason. Hey, Wally. So the lookout is still kicking?
Yep.
Nothing says I'm sorry like a dried up old frog.
No worries. I've moved beyond you blinding, burning, blowing up and marooning me all those years ago.
Good to know. Ooh, look behind you! A three-headed monkey!
Really doing this here?
Please take one. I use them to promote my business. See, it says maps and more on the edge.
Thanks. It makes things look bigger.
Oh boy.
LeChuck,
There
sir.
he is.
Just thought I'd pop in and let you know. Preparations to set sail are almost done.
You have all the supplies for the spell to get to Monkey Island?
Check. Squid ink, chickens, brimstone, cinnamon, monkey blood, mint, and an annoying skull.
Murray!
Well done. Mark yourself down for one less lashing this voyage.
Funny story. Guybrush Threepwood tried to sign on to the crew.
Threepwood? He must be looking for the secret, too. That guy steals all my best ideas. Have him killed. Wait, let him live. I want him to see me sail off for Monkey Island knowing the secret is lost to him forever.
Damn, rubbing it in.
I want to bring this up one more time. Is searching for this mythical secret of Monkey Island a good idea? Shouldn't we be out terrorizing the high seas, instilling fear, creating mayhem, being more
Got a point.
on brand for LeChuck?
I've had enough of you questioning my orders. Finish loading the ship, and whatever you do, don't let Threepwood on board.
Very well.
The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better. The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better. The note says, forced looks like a volcano island with horns that swallowed a basketball. Hi.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Okay.
Once you have a key, you've got to open the door.
When did we ever blow up Wally? It wasn't that we blew him up, is that we
are not
escaped
what
an
they
explosion
say.
and he didn't. Hey.
Employees only. It seems to be stuck closed. It seems to be stuck closed.
What a surprise.
Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work. Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she looks sort of like an eye. I think it's a chandelier.
A visitor! Wait. Guybrush Threepwood?
It's Otis!
Otis!
Howdy, kid.
And Stan!
Otis, old pal. You haven't changed much since I last saw you.
I blame the government.
In fact, didn't we first meet right here?
Not at all. I was in the other cell that time. You look different somehow. New art style?
How nice of you to notice. Big news. I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
That sounds fantastic! You know what I remember most about Monkey Island? The time you busted me out of jail right before we went there. I don't cruise ships anymore, but maybe you can still help me out. Like you did all those years ago.
Yeah, I'm sort of planning on hijacking an existing crew instead of recruiting one. But maybe I can spring you anyway, for old time's sake.
I would be most appreciative. A locksmith has opened very conveniently across the way. I am told locksmiths can make keys for things. Things like cell doors?
Imagine that. What did they get you for this time?
I'm a victim of circumstance. Circumstance being that...
One sec. Whoop. I think OBS froze for a second. Scary. Scary.
Too much attention gets paid to little things that don't hurt anyone, while hard killers roam the streets with pistols and swords.
I notice you didn't say what crime they locked you up for.
It was nothing. I was just picking some flowers.
In the forest?
No, that's illegal. I learned my lesson.
That's what he was arrested for in the first
from
game.
the governor's garden instead.
Picking flowers from the governor's garden sounds like an unwise choice.
We used to be friends. Sort of. Anyway, they aren't even her flowers. Taxes pay for them. It's public property. I don't know why anyone bothers me about it. I don't hurt anybody.
We'll accept the flowers.
They're annuals. They're doomed anyway. Guybrush, you gotta get me out of here. It's custard night. I don't think I can take that again.
I'll make it my number 3 priority.
Thanks.
I don't remember this place being so leaky.
They finally installed running water.
Eek! A spider! Ugh, it's that same spider. Ah, it's that spider again. Ugh, I simply don't like looking at that spider. Ah, every time I look at it, it's somehow worse. Yikes! Why do I keep looking at it? Yikes! Why do I keep looking at it? Yikes! Why do I keep looking at it?
Guybrush, you gotta get me out of here!
I'll make it my number 3 priority. I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read.
That's really funny, Lainey. About Stan. Oh, this is from the last game. I don't remember. The Cutlass of Kaflu. That was what Guybrush used to defeat LeChuck. I know it needed root beer. What was it? Was it the insult? Whoops. Fuck. Did I click on the wrong thing? I think I might have misclicked.
Watch your boots in here, son. It's like a swamp, without the clean parts.
It says jail rules. 1. No escaping. It says jail rules. 1. No escaping. Any writing that was once here has been rubbed away.
Can I not redo them? I'm gonna look it up, like how the trivia works.
How's your day going?
Generally, trivia cards. So how do these work? Is it just if you get them wrong, they teleport someone?
You look like you're having a good time. That's nice.
Okay, they just spawn randomly, apparently.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
Oh, sorry to see you in jail.
Thank you, son. I appreciate the thought. I'm sorry to see me here as well.
I was really hoping to buy a ship from you.
Well, now, normally, I would do absolutely anything to get you into a comfortable ride right away. But my hands are tied. They're shackled. I can't do it. Not at any price. I'm completely out of inventory. Every ship on the lot was seized by unscrupulous lawyers who don't care about your sailing needs the way I do.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've already got a plan to steal a ship from LeChuck.
Well, if you don't get killed, look me up afterwards. I'll give you a good price for anything that can stay above the waterline. Naturally, it'll have to be store credit until I get back on my feet.
Hang on. One second. I want to see which voice actor for Stan this is. Monkey Island Special Edition. He's changed VAs a few times. Okay, hang on. So who played Stan in the first two when they were voice acted? Okay, so it's Patrick Penny, who voiced him in the third game, and this is Gavin Hammond, who was in the last one. Okay, so this is the guy from the last game.
What did you do that got you arrested?
Let me tell you something, son. It's not what a man does that matters, it's who he is. Maybe one day, in a moment of weakness, he crosses a line. But if he's confident about what's in his heart, he can hold his head high. And you know what's in my heart, son?
blood and goopy stuff?
People! People are in my heart. Anything I may have allegedly done, you can be sure I did it because I care about people.
What exactly did you allegedly do for people that got you arrested?
I gave them what they wanted. Now, naturally, people don't always know that they want the things they want. Sometimes it takes a man with a talent like mine to show them the way. And sometimes people who are jealous of that sort of talent will try to put all sorts of unpleasant labels on it. They use hurtful words like scam and misrepresentation and even fraud. But it's all just marketing, son. As natural as the rocks and the trees and the Malay Island flounder birds. And that's why I'm not worried. I'm awaiting final judgment of the court, but I'm certain I'll be acquitted. They don't hang people for marketing.
It sounds like you should have been arrested several decades ago. I mean, why now, all of a sudden?
One word: jurisdiction. I was expanding my core business, you see, trying to provide ship owners with a variety of ship maintenance necessities. Sponges, barnacle scrapers, repair manuals, rudder tape. I had a whole line of products. I expanded my distribution to other islands all over the Caribbean. And that's when I ran into trouble. Some of those islands have different laws, you see, that might not seem so fair to men like you and me. They slapped me with a ton of paper, talking about things like standards of quality and consumer protection and environmental impact. They didn't understand that I wasn't really selling porthole wipers. I was selling happiness. And my customers were happy. They were perfectly happy right up until some clown with a briefcase came along and told them they weren't. It's a crock, son, and that's why it won't stand up in court. I'll be out before you know it.
Didn't you used to have a law practice or something?
Used to, but I was disbarred for what we former law practitioners call moral turpitude.
Is that a real word?
More or less. It's one of those handy catch-all words that you can use whatever you want because it doesn't mean anything specific.
Would it help if I broke you out of jail?
Now that's a kind offer, it truly is. Warms me to think that you'd do that for your old pal Stan. But I've got to think about the optics. I don't want to damage my case, and escaping from jail doesn't look good at trial. So thanks, but no thanks.
Are you sure you don't want me to break you out?
115%, son, but thanks.
I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
The secret? Boy, that takes me back. But if you're looking for help, you're barking up the wrong enchilada.
I don't think that's
Just
the same.
remember, life has no guarantees or warranties. Only jamborees.
Thanks. That's advice. Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
Now that you mention it, there is one thing I've been missing during my time here in this lofty establishment. In all the rush and fuss and document shredding surrounding my arrest, I completely forgot to grab my toothbrush. If you happen to be passing by the shipyard, you might grab it for me. It'll be on my desk in the office.
Sure thing. See you later.
Yep.
Yep.
Hi there, newcomer.
Hiya.
Locksmith.
Handsome looking parrot.
And also vicious. But it was my mother's favorite.
I see everyone in that portrait has lovely locks.
If you have to make a pun, at least make a good one.
What is that? It's definitely not a key. Or a lock.
It's a fishing lure, of course.
Of course. Are these for customers?
Hands off. Those are my last crackers.
That's an impressive machine.
Yep. This wouldn't be much of a lock shop without a key grinder.
These are nice.
It's a locksmithing test.
Close it all up, and if you get the key out, you pass?
That's the beginner level, yes. The real challenge is to lock the larger box inside the smaller one.
What? Trivia. Roguish pirate and Herman Toothrat? Is this something we're gonna learn in this? Or is this trivia from a previous game? Herman Toothrat. One sec. I guess we'll come back to that one.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
What's that lock?
That's for hats. And please don't touch the glass.
What's this key?
That's for a lockable quiver. And please don't touch the glass.
I see a peninsula trailing off into small islands, but no X marks the spot.
It's southern Florida. I have family there.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Locke Smith.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. And before you ask, yes, they did. Yes, it was. And they really, really wanted me to follow in the family business.
It's really clean in here. Do you have a mop I could use?
I simply don't allow filth to accumulate in the first place. Try somewhere a little less sanitary, like the bar by the docks.
Can you really make keys for stuff? That seems like a magic trick.
Modern locks have serial numbers that tell me all I need to know. No tricks necessary, just information.
It seems wrong that you can make a key from just the serial number.
It's a failsafe, in case people lose their key. You know how people are.
Aren't locks way less secure if all you need is a number to get a new key?
That's why you should never share the serial number with anyone.
What happens if you lose your key and the serial number at the same time?
The numbers are usually engraved on the locks, just in case. And if you lose the lock, chances are you don't need a new key.
Well, what's to stop me reading the serial number on someone else's lock and having a key made?
The numbers are printed small enough that you need a special tool to read them. Only a pro would have a tool like that.
Can I borrow your lock serial number reading tool?
My magnifier? Not a chance. I could be drummed out of the union for that. If you want to play locksmith, you'll have to look elsewhere.
Who's the old lady in the window across the way?
You mean Whitey Bones. She used to be the undertaker here years ago.
Whitey
Seems to know a lot of
Bones?
things that maybe don't quite fit together.
How well do you know Whitey Bones?
Not well at all. But she's been living near my shop for quite a few years. She was across from my old location, too.
Would she moved when you moved?
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
I'm on a quest to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Exciting. The story in my family is that the secret is sort of like a key. One that opens all locks at once.
All at once? Well, how does that work?
No idea. It's just a story. But I guess you'll find out soon enough.
Tell me again about how to have keys made. It's exciting.
You bring me the serial number from the lock. I make the key. It's pretty straightforward.
I think I'll browse around a bit.
Try not to touch anything. I've got a system, and I don't like it disrupted.
Hey, Guybrush! Hey, kid!
I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read.
They say the only real prison is the one in your head. But take it from me, that's a load of barnacles.
I can read the serial number. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
There we go.
Hi there.
Hi. This is the number for the jail cell lock. Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. Good choice on the lock. These are really sturdy. It's the same kind they use over at the jail.
Oh, wow. What a coincidence. I had no idea.
Thank you.
Hey, Guybrush! Hey, kid! Word of advice, kid. Stick to the narrow straights.
Otis, the authorities have reconsidered your case and decided that you should go free.
I'm very grateful to the authorities and will not mention their name should any awkward questions be asked. Good luck, Stan. I hope you get acquitted.
Oh, it's in the bag, friend, but thanks.
Can I still break him out?
No thanks. I'm about to be acquitted. Escaping looks bad.
I'll stay on this side of the bars, just in case. I already copied the serial number.
Let's just take a look at this again. Damn it. Just walk in.
Carla.
There she is. Swordmaster.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Hello, Swordmaster.
Prepare to taste my blade, you washed-up hack.
Anything but your cooking.
Low-hanging fruit, but it works.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
You should never have given up being Swordmaster.
Who says I did?
Oh, sorry, I just assumed. Governor seems like a full-time job.
It is, but there's room for overlap if you're creative about it. I heard from your wife. She's coming by to talk about scurvy legislation. I assume you're involved with that somehow?
Elaine can handle it. She doesn't need me.
I don't doubt that, but it isn't about what she does or doesn't need. If it isn't about the Scurvy Project, why are you here?
I'm looking for the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you. I don't have it.
Elaine says Captain Madison is hurting her Scurvy Project.
Not the legislative part, just the public funding. The town was in a bind a while back, and that so-and-so, Captain Madison, saw an opportunity. She lent us the cash we needed, but now we're up a creek paying the interest. Things like social programs, waste management, and town maintenance are all on the back burner.
I like that woman less every minute.
You and me both.
Well, the mansion hasn't changed much. Elaine's style is still everywhere. Even the books are hers.
They're my books now, as you well know.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Warning, do not try these tricks at home. Can I borrow a book?
You've got a lot of nerve asking that. You never brought back the last book you borrowed. I had to buy another copy. You never even apologized.
I'll pay for it.
I don't need your money.
I tried to read that once, but I couldn't finish it. Can I borrow a book?
Okay.
You never brought back the last book you borrowed.
So I can't borrow any.
You never even apologized.
I totally forgot.
Of course you did. You think like a cow.
I get it.
Does not include Secret of Monkey Island. Oh. It's a cookbook. It has 4 stars, but it looks like they're for difficulty.
Barbie LaFlame.
It's thicker than I would have imagined. The blurb says it's a solid if somewhat predictable story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station. Note to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book.
Trivia. What is it? A genuine skull name? I don't know what that is.
I've always thought this looked like my old ship, the Sea Monkey. Edgy. Ugh, looks like Carla wasn't too keen on getting her portrait done. I like your stuffed, guess it's a dog?
Please, take that and throw it away. It was a gift from the Earl of Thickwater, who is a contemptible pig.
Damn. Alright.
It's a lot of work being governor. I've seen that same painting on a box of frozen instant cereal. Elaine told me that's Lauder Neckbeard, second governor of Melee Island.
Stay out of my bedroom, Threepwood.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Governor stuff. Alright, so I guess there's nothing else here for now. Oops. Let's see what else is on the island. Oh, I can't go to meat hooks.
Warning. The dark forest ahead is deadly and twisty. Maps are highly recommended. Oh, I used to love these when I was 6.
Oh, not in Natal. What was this one? That was an island I went to. Fuck. Which game is that? I think that was the 4th game. There we go. Don't know what this means.
Museum of Pirate Lore. I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2 days. I think they're illegal now.
Hi there. Welcome to the Melee Island Museum of Pirate Lore. I'm
Pirate
Conrad,
Lore.
the curator and docent here. I also edit the Pirate Times newsletter. Here, take my business card.
Thanks?
The museum showcases the largest collection of pirate memorabilia in the Caribbean. Or on Melee Island at the very least. The provenance of each item has been very carefully researched and fact-checked by myself and my team. Authenticity is our watchword and our pledge. Feel free to explore. And if you have any questions, just ask.
How on earth do you have that note?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. That was found tucked inside of a book at the Fat Island Library. It's the actual note left by the ghost pirate LeChuck when he kidnapped Governor Marley.
Damn. I know what it is. The lookout handed it to me just before I finished my 3 trials. I was crushed, but undaunted. I gathered a crew and I sailed to Monkey Island to save her. Not that she needed it, as it turned out.
Wow, man, you're really into this. I've got a role-playing group on Thursday nights.
You don't believe me?
It's not a question of belief.
Never mind. It's not important. Eye patch worn by Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces. Well, the numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read. The display case is locked. Pirate Times, editor Conrad Lee, ready to publish your unrecognized genius. What's the story with the wanted poster?
That is the earliest known wanted poster for Captain Kate Capsize. You can tell how notorious she was by the huge number of crimes listed there. Very impressive. I got it from a collector on Fat Island.
Those are my own crimes, actually. I was pretty much public enemy #1 on Fat Island at the time. I stuck Kate's picture on there so she'd get thrown in jail.
That would never work. Nobody's that clueless in real life.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm sure you are, but it just doesn't quite square with the official record. So it's hard to substantiate.
Substantiate? You've got an eyewitness.
Eyewitnesses are notoriously inaccurate. Human memory is plastic and suggestible.
Not yours, apparently.
No, of course not. I deal in facts.
Oh, he's Ben Shapiro.
What's this melted lump of metal?
It used to be a mug. It was melted by some kind of acid. It was found in the Melee jail many years ago, after an incident where like 20 pirates escaped.
Hey, I did that. I had to keep pouring the grog from mug to mug because it was melting them. I had an armload of mugs and I juggled them all the way from the scum bar to the jail. Also, I could get Otis to join my crew. Not my greatest decision in retrospect.
That's a pretty wild story.
This is absurd. It's like this whole wall is stuff from my personal adventures, but somehow I'm not even mentioned in your stories.
That's what's so great about this museum. Everyone makes their own connections with the exhibits, and it's
Well,
highly
then no
personal
one ever
and
believes
different for
Guybrush.
everyone.
That's not what I'm trying to say at all.
That's okay. You don't need to say anything. Just listen to what the exhibits
Nobody ever
tell
believes
you.
he's done the
Fine.
shit that he's done.
That map looks familiar.
That's 1/4 of the original map to the treasure of Big Whoop. I got it from the cartographer on Low Street. Apparently, he was somehow involved in the search for Big Whoop.
About all Wally managed to do was get kidnapped by LeChuck's henchmen.
That's not the way he tells it.
I'm just trying to help.
Thanks. I've got it under control.
Why do you have this big gear?
It's from the Melee Clock Tower, stolen during a pirate raid nearly 75 years ago. It was recently found at an inn on St. Martin, where it was being used to mill corn. I traded some old furniture for it that we had in the back room.
Has anyone thought about putting it back in the clock?
Nah. If the clock started working, it would only confuse people.
Got a point.
What can you tell me about this eye patch?
That's the pride of the collection. It belonged to Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces. Supposedly, it had voodoo powers that would disguise him. I tried it on though, and nothing happened.
Why would the clock confuse people? Just because they're used to it being broken now, I guess.
That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten. What do you feed it?
Thieves, mostly.
Good to know. It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. What was this cinder you've got on the wall?
Oh, that. Yeah, that was an unsent love letter written by Elaine Marley while she was governor of the island.
What? Elaine?
The recipient was referred to only as Plunder Bunny.
That's me!
It was a really touching letter. Unfortunately, I put the candle too close to it.
What did it say? Tell me what she said.
Oh, you know, love letter stuff. Honestly, I don't remember a word of it, but it was touching.
Thanks a lot. What's the significance of the peg leg?
That belonged to the infamous Peg Leg Patty. She used to hide
I
a
gotta
spare
send my
cutlass
parents in
in
the
it
shop, sorry.
in case of capture. Sadly, that's the reason she's no longer with us.
Tell me about this hunk of wood.
That's an original plank from the Golden Hind, autographed by Francis Drake himself.
That's a nice oar.
The one with the coffin, yeah. The coffin had a lot of water damage when I got it from the voodoo lady in town, but I managed to restore it. It was used by a certain well-known captain in a daring escape from a Turkish prison.
The water damage is actually from the swamp on Scab Island.
Unlikely. The prison in question is nowhere near Scab Island.
You should think about hiring a research assistant.
Oh, I did. Unpaid, of course. Intern.
Tell me again about the coffin.
Oops.
It was used by...
Is this a left hook or a right hook?
That once belonged to the dread pirate Meat Hook.
Meat Hook.
Supposedly he was ambidextrous. Also, he used to live right here, on Melee.
Meat Hook, my beloved.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
No kidding? Wow, are you named after Guybrush Threepwood?
I guess you could say that.
Nice.
I'm going to find the legendary secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, that's excellent! Super retro. If you need a place to display it, I know a convenient museum.
Your museum is quaint.
Thanks. It's been a personal passion of mine. I'm nuts about old-timey pirate stuff.
Old-timey?
Being around it really makes you feel like you're a part of something. Doesn't it?
I am part of something.
Exactly.
Are any of these things valuable?
The security parrot isn't just here to look piratey. John Laney's eye patch is irreplaceable. It's the highlight of the collection. Amazingly, I got it at a yard sale. They didn't know what they had.
I don't suppose you have a mop from a famous pirate swabby on display?
I've been trying to get the cook down at the Scum Bar to donate his, but he won't part with it.
Do you have maps of the forest here?
No, that's not really what we do. Try the map shop in town?
Tell me about that newsletter of yours.
The Pirate Times. We publish pirate news, pirate stories, pirate poetry, all things piratey, really.
I see you wear a peg leg, despite having both of your original legs.
Just part of the docent's outfit, for the tourists. Kids always want to try it on.
That's charming and creepy at the same time.
This is a museum for people who think attacking ships and murdering the crew for profit sounds fun.
Touché. I'll have a look around.
Please do.
It's Cracker Mix. Some assembly required.
Hey, wait a minute. This is a puzzle from the second game. The Cracker Mix. Oops, not that.
Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet. A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth.
Oh, no, fuck.
I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Ooh, purple flowers. These must be teasel, or alliums, or clematis.
I'll go back there. I'm so good at this.
Wow, the window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush? The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit.
Let me get the high
Have a
score
nice
for
day.
this game. Trivia. Damn it.
I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned vessels like a carnival. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It always looks bigger on this side of the island. It's a dried up old sea sponge. Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It says, Tan's previously owned vessels. So sad. Stan's used to be the best place to buy used ships. It's soft and extra fuzzy.
It's hopeless.
It's my very own, very sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife.
Alrighty.
Hi again. Oh, those new pirate leaders are real jerks. They laughed at me, and they won't fund my expedition. Why didn't you warn me?
Would you have listened?
Of course. Okay, no, probably not. I'm thinking about going on LeChuck's expedition after all.
I'm glad to hear you decided to patch things up.
Nah, he doesn't want me on the ship. I'm blacklisted. I'm gonna have to go in disguise.
These Shakespearean comedies just write themselves.
See anything interesting out there?
Change. The future.
Are those the names of ships? All I can see is open water.
It's what I named my cataracts.
Huh. You've been at this post a long time.
Yep. Well, my eyesight isn't what it once was, but my hearing is still as sharp as the governor's sword.
And that's helpful for being a lookout?
There's hardly ever anything to see anyway. The job is mostly about greeting people. Welcome to Melee Island.
Thanks. Ever think about retiring?
Sure, sounds great. I'll get a little place where I can sit by the fire and watch the ocean.
Say...
You'll have to excuse me. I think I see something on the horizon.
Say...
You'll have to excuse me. I think I see something on the horizon.
It's good for relieving stress.
Alrighty. Hey, a trivia card.
Hi, Cobb. Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was declared a historical landmark.
Yeah, the place does seem different from what I remember.
It's this new, younger generation of pirate leaders. Oh, they're highfalutin dark magic. Look at us. We're so much better than you because we don't drink grog before getting married. These kids today are all about sacking and pillaging. They've got no heart.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island. Wanna come?
I heard the secret
He's
is
the guy
just
from the
some
first
marketing
game,
gimmick
remember?
Stan thought up. That only the gullible and naive would go looking for it.
Tell me about Loom.
Oh, I'm so sick of pirates asking me about Loom. Get lost.
Then why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
My grog-riddled body is fused with it. I'm more button than man at this point.
Oh, come on. Tell me about Loom. For old time's sake.
Beat it.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Fine. You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic. Stunning, high-resolution
This is the guy who's in the
3D
first game and who was
landscapes,
also in the Scum Bar, and that
sophisticated
he was like one of the
score
first
and
people,
musical effects.
first people you could
Not
talk
to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Yes.
Now get lost.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Yo ho.
Are you sure I can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Let's pretend I was really considering this. What sort of
Loom?
pirate
Yeah, that was a
qualifications
game
have you
that
got?
LucasArts made.
Exactly.
I defeated the ghost pirate LeChuck several times.
Super ironic that sailing with him is the only way you're getting to Monkey Island.
Well, I was a director of combat operations for the British Navy, and I've written 2 books on ship-to-ship tactics.
I'm a founding member and co-director of the Red Fleet and hold records for civilian casualties from San Domingo to Venezuela.
I'm an expert in 17 forms of hand-to-hand combat, 3 of which I invented. I served with Bellamy, Teach, and Roberts before they each met an untimely end that I might have had nothing to do with.
Just so you know, this is the kind of resume we expect.
Oh. Nice and hot. Wonder how long I could stand here.
Here we Damn it. Oh well.
Well, it's definitely a mop.
Stay away from that picture. I said not to touch that. You don't use someone else's mop.
Why not?
The mop is the formal tool of a cook. Not as clumsy or random as a dish rag. An elegant tool for a more civilized cleaning. You cannot hope to succeed with the mop of another.
I can't?
You must construct your own. A single, perfect instrument that you will keep and use for a lifetime.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Once you build it, the mop will become your constant companion.
The fuck is he talking about?
Your tool. And a ready means of defense against spills of all kinds.
Build it?
The wood is the heart of the handle. The heart is the handle of the cook. You are one.
Not helpful so far.
You must find a particular tree. A tree uniquely suited to the handles of mops. Carve your handle from a limb of that tree.
Okay.
Any questions?
How do I find the mop handle tree?
I can't tell you exactly where it is, because this is your own personal journey.
What kind of wood is the tree?
That is something you must discover for yourself.
What about the head of the mop?
Oh, you have to have one, of course, but pretty much anything will do. It's mostly about the handle.
Are you sure I can't just buy a mop? Yours, for example.
No, you've got to make one. Trust me on this.
Okay, I guess I'll do it. What's wrong?
You gave the story the wrong title. It should be called Mop Quest. When do we get to the piratey parts?
Well, even the coolest professions involve more mopping up than you would think. It seemed crazy to me at the time, too. But don't forget, it was all so I could board a ship, take command, and sail to Monkey Island. But first, I had to make a mop.
Ugh. I gotta make him up. Gotta make him up. Oh. What? An outhouse? Where is there an outhouse?
I hope this isn't one of those party cruises. Hey, watch it!
Wait, what? Why did he say that? What happened?
It'll be my ship soon enough.
Oh, a bottle flew out the window? Alright, what do I got in my hand?
It's my very own, very sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife.
Okay. What are my options for this again?
Dear Carla, sorry for losing the book I borrowed.
You were tough.
I appreciate that you're keen on bluntness. As shown by your actions at Santo Domingo. please accept my humblest apology. I've implemented a reminder system for myself. Better to have one for each eye.
If you say so.
If one monocle is good, two is better. This was a good idea. They magnify stuff even better since I stuck them together.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Wally. I'm looking for a tree to make a stupid mop from. Have you got a map for that?
So the cook has sent you on one of his spiritual journeys? Been a while since I made one of those mop tree maps. What kind of tree is it again?
I don't know. A wood one?
That's okay. Just bring me a sliver of the wood and I can work it out from there. I'm that good.
Bye. I've got a few coins for incidentals.
Alright, Alright. Whoops. Clicked out of the game.
Ah, crystal clear. I'll just write that down. It doesn't seem interested. Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet. This is the one for the museum display case.
Alright, let's see here. So let's leave and go get a lock, or a key made rather.
Hello, Mr. Brush.
Hiya. Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. This will be for a high-end display case. You a collector?
Yeah. Stamps.
I'm assuming I have to get rid of the parrot. Oh, wait.
Once upon a time, I won a t-shirt right here on the front lawn.
Whoa! That's not supposed to be unlocked. I'd better fold this and put it in storage. Then I can figure out what's wrong with the lock. Looking good. I like things neat. Gotta get these edges perfect. That's folded perfectly. That'll do, Parrot. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the museum while I figure out what's going on with my display case lock. Welcome back. I checked the display case and it seems fine, so we're open for business again.
Alright, so I gotta get the parrot to shut the fuck up.
That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten. Eye patch worn by Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces.
Kill it? I would, but I don't have a weapon. Oh yeah, I do.
That is
I
a
just
really
can't use
big
it.
parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten.
Excuse me, I was stretching.
There's some very tiny writing on it. It doesn't seem interested.
Oh, hang on.
Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet.
I want to go to shipyard.
Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now. Stan used this to clean it. It's sad to see the shipyard like this. The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush? I don't want to wreck my brand new shiny knife. The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old...
Find the mop handle tree. Okay, I guess I should just go explore the woods.
Ah. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. I'm hopelessly lost without a map.
Okay. Fuck.
A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Warning, the dark forest ahead is deadly and twisty. Maps are highly recommended.
Okay. Oops.
What's cooking?
The Feast of Knowledge.
Wait, get lost in the woods, please. Thanks. Thinking.
All my merchandise is top shelf.
Can't you at least wait?
I think I might stop for now. It's been about 2.5 hours. It is very hot in my house. So... yeah. I'm gonna go... because I'm fucking dying of heat stroke. Not really. Just need to drink some water and lie down. Okay, let's raid someone. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Who's live? Who's live? Yeah, like a pirate. Alright, Raiden, you're off for coffee. Ugh. Fuck. Alright, you guys have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. And I'll stream more later this